It's a bit lengthy, but basically it deals with two topics. One, defensive structure, which is critical to anything you do prior to snapping the football. And two, our 8 top running plays that I want to teach you now so you'll be way ahead when you come in the fall. Defensive structure, man, is critical, and it really eats up about 65, maybe 70% of this tape. Fronts, coverages, how we name them. That's what we want to get into right away, and we're going to start with technique numbering. Then a long time ago, of course really not that too long for some of us, a guy by the name of Paul Bear Bryant introduced technique numbering to college football, and we still use it today. This is it. Let's just be real basic here for just a second, and I think the best way to really understand this tape is just forget everything that you knew out of high school and just kind of clean your brain out and try to absorb exactly what we're doing here at Rice. Really basic. This is the center, right guard, right tackle, the tight end, the right tight end, left guard, left tackle, the left tight end. Now, it's critical that you communicate with us during the course of a game, or me in the press box, or Coach Hatfield on the sideline, and we ask you what technique somebody's playing, or you're going to have different rules on our options. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 all have the same rule for you. You read the first down lineman from a 4-eye technique on out. You pitch off the next outside defender, never pitching off an inside backer unless we've instructed you to do so. So let's find out what those techniques are right now. If the nose guard's playing head up to the center, that's a 0 technique. If he's shaded on either shoulder pad, we just call that simply a shade. Okay? Over here on the right guard and the left guard, the guard techniques are identical. Inside shoulder pad's a 1 technique. Head up of the guard is a 2 technique. Outside shoulder pad's a 3 technique. Inside shoulder pad of our offensive tackle is a 4-eye technique. Head up's a 4 technique. Outside shoulder, 5 technique. On the tight end, it's an inside shoulder is a 7 technique. Head up is a 6. Outside shoulder pad's a 9. And out on the ghost air is an 8. Men, that's identical for the left side also. Yeah, we letter the gaps. We number the techniques, we letter the gaps. The guard center gap is the A gap. The guard tackle gap is a B gap. Tight end tackle gap is a C gap. And the D gap is outside the tight end. So we number the techniques, we letter the gaps. The exception to this is our offensive linemen. From time to time you'll hear them talk about the X, Y, Z, etc. gaps on the backside. That's for the offensive line coach. Quarterback-wise, we'll communicate this way as the gaps, and that's technique numbering and gap lettering. Okay, men, what I want to do here is teach you the difference in a 7-man front and an 8-man front. Oh, hey, Coach, I know that. There's 7 guys on one, 8 on the other. No, I want to teach you exactly what we teach and believe in our philosophy and the difference in the two fronts. This first one right here, okay? Pure vanilla 50 defense, nose guard, the B's are backers, the T's are tackles, and the E's are ends, okay? And a 7-man front, men, this defensive end would probably hit with his inside arm and control that gap. He'd hit with his inside arm, the 5 technique, and control that gap. Hit with his inside shoulder pad, control that gap. Same over here, inside arm that gap, inside arm that gap. A 7-man front, men, means this. One guy, the big, tough, strong, best player, usually plays 2 gaps, and that's usually the nose guard in a 50 defense. It is the nose guard. He's got to play both gaps. That constitutes a 7-man front. One player has to play 2 gaps. If it's a 40 defense, an old college 4-3, the linebacker would play 2 gaps. In a 50, the nose guard has the 2 gaps. Now, in an 8-man front, okay, all of a sudden we move the nose guard over to a shade or an A-gap technique or somewhere in that area. It would look like this. Now, in this defense, he'd hit, he's got that gap, hit that gap, hit that gap, he's got this gap. The backer has this gap, he'd hit and control that gap, hit with his inside arm, hit with his outside arm and have his inside arm free to control this gap. The strong safety then will have that gap. Men, in an 8-man front, every player has 1 gap. That's the difference in the 7-man front and the 8-man front, because it's critical to our blocking schemes what we're facing up front, that we match the correct scheme with the right front. Okay, men, what I want to do right now is teach you how we call fronts. How do we communicate the front to the coach and back and forth? Here's how we do it. The first thing is this. Our tight end is called the Y. If the tight end is in tight, we always call the defense to the tight end side first. If they're playing a 50 over here and a 40 over there, we would call the defense a 54. okay, if the tight end's in tight. Now, if the tight end's not in tight, we have two wide receivers or we have a tight end split over here into the boundary, and the ball's on the hash, which it is so much of the game in this offense, we always call the defense, okay, to the field, back into the boundary. So if the 40 was over here and the 50 was over here, it would be a 45 defense. Two splits or a tight end split out, we call to the field, back to the boundary if the ball's in the hash. The third way, if the ball's not on the hash, say the ball's in the middle of the field, these are our hash marks right here, just like they are up here. Now the ball's in the middle of the field, we always call the defense, again, the tight end's not in the ball game, we always call the defense to the offense's right, back to the offense's left, okay? Tight end's in tight, call it to the tight end. No tight end or tight end split out, call it to the field, back to the boundary if the ball's on the hash. And thirdly, if the ball's in the middle, call it to our right, back to the left. That's how we call defenses. All right, men, here we go. Balanced fronts. A balanced front means the defense is lined up exactly the same way on each side of the football. We tried to make every balanced front end in a zero. We kind of ran out of numbers on our 51 and 52 defense. They're both balanced fronts, but it looks like this. A 40 defense, let's just look from my arm up right here, okay? A 40 defense is your old traditional college 4-3, 2, 4, or 5 technique backers, a zero backer. Here's the other 4 or 5 technique backers. Basically a loose 5 technique here, and usually a 3 to the field and a 1 technique to the boundary. The 50 defense, 0 nose, tackles in, 2 backers, okay? It's identical both sides. 60 is an old 6-1. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down players, though the backers may be off. And if this backer backs up, we just call it 60 off, okay? Both of them are backed up, we call it a 60 double off, but that's a 60 look again with a 0 backer. These two, the 60 and the 40, basically come from the same 40 package or 40 family. Now, moving over here to the 8-man fronts, if they have 2-1 techniques with 2 B-gap backers, that's called an 80 defense. A 90 defense or 2-3 techniques with 2 split or A-gap linebackers, that's a 90. I showed you a 51 right here, guys. If they brought a 50 backer and sent him out of the game, and they brought in another defensive back, a lot of times they'll play what we call a 51, which is the same 50 personnel, 5 down linemen. One backer went to the sideline. This backer stays in the game, and they play with a strong safety over here and a nickel backer or a rover over here. He's an identical player to the strong safety to give him a cover 3 with double invert. We call that a 51 defense. Okay, men, we're now going to go to combination fronts. But just before we do, I want to teach you a critical terminology difference and alignment difference between an eagle linebacker look and a 40 linebacker look. Here they are. The eagle look, the backer stacks right in there behind the 3 technique or even head up with the guard, possibly the A-gap. That's an eagle look linebacker. A 40 look down here, just like from the 4-3 while ago, the 40, the backer comes out here and he's either a head up 4 technique or 5 technique on the tackle. 40 look backer outside, eagle look backers inside. Okay, men, couple combination fronts here. Not going to make it real lengthy. We'll look at some live fronts here on tape in just a second, but here's how we talk about them. We're on the left hash again, okay? So we're in 2 splits. We call the defense where? To the field, back to the boundary. That's right. Put my hand right here over the center. That look right there, guys, that's a 40 look. That side of the defense is a 40. But you look back over here, and this side is a 50 with an off end. That defense would be called what? That's right. That's a 45 defensive front. This one down here, let's say the ball's still on the hash. What's that look? Now, Coach, that's a 60. That's right. What's this look? That's a 40. That's a 64 front. That's how we name combination defenses. We'll look at coverages next. All right, guys, naming and discussing coverages. Here we go. Well, over here with cover 1, we'll go in numerical order. We don't see this coverage a lot, but when we get blitzed, that's what they're going to play behind us. It's blitz man, or what we call cover 1. Corners give it away because they play inside leverage and they stare at that wide receiver. The strong safety gets head up with either the tight end or the number 2 receiver. Free safety's locked on over here, the corner over here. That's cover 1. This one free, same alignments over here, except now the free safety plays free and plays in the middle of the field. most of the time, or he can double a particular wide out or an inside receiver. And this backer, say it's a 60 look, he comes off and he'll play that weak side number 2 player man-to-man. That's one free. Moving over here to zone coverages. Cover 2, or what we call 2 zone men, the safeties play half the field by themselves. The weak side or the free safety will take the weak side or boundary side, the strong safety, the field side. The corners will follow these guys inside, and they play the weak flats. They're looking for any quick out or hitch to intercept that and take it away. They'll have the pitch on the option. The 3 backers will be a field curl, middle curl, and a weak side curl on the back side. Now, 2 man, again, the safeties are identical. They play half the field, they back up, break on anything. The underneath coverage now is all man. This corner walks up inside out, and he plays him inside out man coverage, not worrying about getting beat deep because he knows he's got help behind him. The backer's got the running back man, the other backer the fullback man. The other backer has got this particular slot back man, the corner here again. He's locked on inside. Everybody's got somebody man except the quarterback. Nobody has a quarterback, which is why the quarterback draws a great call on 2 man. The weakness of these 2 defenses, 2 zone, that 18 to 25 yard area, the area right here in the middle, 18 to 25, and this dead area over here, again, away from the safety behind the corner, those are the real dead areas of 2 zone. 2 man, you beat 2 man with some sort of crossing route or corner route, and again, the quarterback draw, any kind of one-on-one route to the backs. Moving over here to 3 zone. You see a lot of 3 zone. I know being out of high school, this is a very prominent defense. They played it practically forever. We see it a whole lot here against the option. If we put hash marks up, basically mean even if the ball was on the hash, when that ball snapped, that free safety goes to the deep 1/3. He has the deep center field. This corner has this deep 1/3. This corner has this deep 1/3, not to be beat first. Starting with a strong safety, he will sit on any kind of curl route by the receiver until number 2 has crossed his face. So his rule basically is curl to flat. This backer, if the end's coming, which most likely against 3 zone, you're getting this kind of rush with the backside end dropping. This backer's to make sure this back doesn't get down through the middle, bump him, and get to the middle curl, weak curl to flatten the backside end. That's 3 zone. The weakness is somewhere over here in the curl flat area based on what the end's doing. The outs are good, the quick outs are good, etc. Cover 4, quarters. Men, kind of a recent coverage that we're seeing. The corner just backs up, the strong safety backs up, the free backs up with these guys basically as their man, but not like man coverage. It's a zone man concept called quarters. A little bit slower on supporting the run. The weakness, any kind of quick out, quick hitch, come back, push him off, run him on and out, him on a flag. We like all those combinations against quarters. This coverage down here on bottom we call cover 7. We rarely see it, but I want to cover it with you because it may come up. It's like cover 2 here. He plays like cover 2, a hard corner. He's got the flat. The strong safety sits hard in here. He's got the short curl. The free safety plays half the field behind both of them. So it's a 3-on-2 look over here. Now basically, men, when they play that 3-on-2 look, they'll overshift their secondary strong like they have, so they'll overshift their front weak. So here we've got like what we call an eagle 80. This 50 end comes over here. He plays the flat, just like this corner would play over here. This backside corner plays just outside the hash. He's got the 3rd and really the half the field. That's cover 7. Now, before we cut this segment off, man, I want you to look over here real quick, if you would. I want you to look at this coverage right here. It'll be the last one. It comes up occasionally. We've moved the football all the way down the field. The defense is struggling. And boy, they start bringing everything from about that 20-yard line all the way to the goal line. We see this stunt quite often. It's called storm 3-man. The strong safety walks up here in a blitz position and comes with some sort of blitz. The free safety now takes his man to man. The corner's still here, the corner here. Now they have some sort of backside linebacker playing him man to man. That's 3-man with a storm blitz. All right, men, time for a little quiz, time for a little test. I want you to look at these 2 fronts for about 5 seconds. You name the front and the coverage in your mind, and I'll give you the answer, okay? Here's the first one. Note, the ball's on the left hash. What's the front and what's the coverage? I hope you said, Coach Lee, that is a 45 front, cover 3. Okay? 45, cover 3. This front right here. Note, men, the ball's in the middle of the field. We're in 2 splits. Coach, that is a 64, cover 2. You got them both right, didn't you? All right, now, guys, I want you to take a look at this film of real game footage. We're going to freeze the front, and I'm going to talk you through them. All right, guys, this is a 50 defense. The coverage is quarters. 4 cross. This is a 51 defense. Look hard. There's 5 down linemen, 2 strong safeties, or a nickel back, 3 deep, 3 double invert. This is what we call a 52, 5 down linemen, 2 40 backers, 52, cover 3. This next one, men, is an eagle 50. Again, the ball's on the right hash, eagle 50, cover 3. This next one, men, ball's in the middle. You call the defense to the right. That's a 50 eagle. 3 deep again. Guys, this is a pure vanilla 40 defense, cover 3. This one's also from the 40 family, but it's a 60 with an off backer down here, cover 3. This is a 45 front, cover 3. This is Texas Tech. Okay, this is an 80 defense, man free. This is an 80 tough. The 2 backers have walked up inside. I think it's man free, and as you look at this corner, the top corner could be a zone look. This defense right here, men, as we look at it, there's a tight end in the game. That is an 84, the 80 on top, the 40 down here, cover 3. And this last one, men, is a 90. 2-3 techniques with the backers inside, man free. Okay, men, in our offense, we have what are called alerts, and we have what are called checks. An alert means you'll go to the line of scrimmage and call the play 14. Alert, meaning, hey, guys, if I don't like the look over there, I may go to the other side, and I do that by saying down, opposite, opposite, set, hike, okay? We want you to understand structure of defenses and getting to a particular side of the defense for our plays, and that's what this segment is right here. We're going to have you as a quarterback direct plays to a certain side of the defense. This, because the nose guard over here, let's say we're going to run our counter lead play 25 where the fullback fakes here and both the backs fake here, and then we come back and run a counter ISO over here. You're faking here, coming back here. This needs to be directed to the shaded side of the defense or the shade nose guard side. This is the side. We want to fake hard over here with the fullback and the quarterback, moving that nose guard over here. We've got a great shot at the backer, the tackle in the end. The guard wipes him out, and this hole becomes real wide as we turn back out on the tackle. That B gap becomes big. So we want to direct this to the shaded side of the defense. Down here, let's say we're running our outside veer play 16 or 17. We've got 16 alert called. We want you to take that to the B gap player. To the B gap player. Now this defense here is called 50 shade. It's a 50, but he's shaded here, he's shaded here. If the nose and tackle goes away, the tackle's got to come down there and protect this B gap. We want you to direct this play at the B gap player. He is the B gap player. If he was head up in the B gap, or he was a 3 technique, or he's a 4-eye like we've got here, we would come off and double team him, read the end, low block the linebacker. That would be getting us directed to the B gap side of the defense, or that side of the structure of the defense. This one to the shaded nose guard side of the defense. Okay, men, now what I want to talk to you about is take this thing a little bit deeper. Ratios of defenses. We have a simple system called the funnel that we use to help you determine ratios of defenses. We want you to get us to the best possible side of the defense structurally, and then at times we want to get you to get us to the best possible play ratio-wise. Now, this really takes place, man, when the ball's in the middle of the field more so than anywhere else. We can pretty much predict what the defense is going to look like off the hash, but when it gets to the middle, we're not sure what they'll do with their secondary. Let's look at it right here. As you look at us right here in our doubles formation, or if these backs were back here in a 3 backfield set, I want to count the number of players we had both sides. We have 1 here, 2, 3, 4. The center is a half player. The quarterback's a half player. The fullback's a half player. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half players to the right side of the football. Over here, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. The two halves are 5. And the fullback makes 5.5 both sides. Now, we're balanced. We want the defense to be balanced. And if they're balanced, we'll probably take the play to the field where we have the extra 18 to 20 yards to operate with. If not, and they want to play 6 to one side and 5 to the other, we want you to get us to the 5 side, and we're going to teach you how to do that next. Okay, man, what we've got here is a funnel. It kind of looks like a mug or a wine glass right here, but we look right over this particular area as to determining as quickly as possible, because that 25-second clock's going off, what the ratio of the defense is without counting all 11 players. Okay, men, the funnel is defined as a zero technique area past linebacker level, and once you get past linebacker level, it then fans out to the B gaps, right here to the B gaps, all the way up through the safeties. Okay, an example. Let's put a 50 defense up there real quick. Let's put 3 deep with it. Okay, now, men, that's a 50 cover 3. How many players are in the funnel? 2. Guys, anytime there's 2 players in the funnel, 0 players or 2 players in the funnel, we want you to go away from the strong safety. Okay, let me show you why. Let's say we run a triple option out here to the right side. We zone block this backer, okay, like this, which would be our scheme. We read the tackle, we pitch off the end. Now, we would arc block this strong safety if we ran our play to the right 10. This receiver could either push the corner and let the free safety go, or he could crack the free safety and let the corner go, okay? Now, there's 2 players in the funnel, and I said go away from the strong safety. We can run the play to the field, and if you call it that way and let it go that way, we're okay. But, and we'll have a sizable gain. But if you head us back into the boundary away from the strong safety, look what happens. Same scheme. We zone the backer, you read the tackle, you pitch off the end. We push at the corner to back him up, crack the free safety, arc block the corner. Now, instead of getting the first down over there, we think if we execute and block and the quarterback reads, we've got a touchdown over here into the boundary. We want you to get us to the best side. Now, right down here, we'll drop another defense, a 60 with cover 2. And again, man, I want you to realize we need your help more so than any other part of the time of the ball's on the field is when it's right there in the middle of the field, okay? We can handle it off the hash and predict what they're going to do, like I said, but when the ball is in the middle of the field, that's where we need your help. Okay, cover 2. How many are in that funnel? Well, Coach, there's just 1. Man, if there's just 1, just go ahead and let the play go the way the coach brought it in from the sideline, okay? Direct it here, cover 2. We're in fine shape. We'd come off here on a play called 12. Put these 3 on these 2. You'd read here, you'd pitch here, we'd push, crack here, we'd arc there, and we'd have a touchdown again. You let the play go as directed. If there's 1 player or if there's 3 players in the funnel, you let it go, okay? Okay, man, run that funnel, that ratio back a couple times, and you'll understand it. Again, we need your help when the ball's off the hash out in the middle of the field. Let's go to the running game. Let's start looking at these plays on film and start to learn them, okay? I want to show you really first 4 plays right here. The first one, 10 and 11. The second one, 12 and 13. The third one, 14 and 15. And the fourth one is a concept where we don't know what the front's going to be. We look at the line of scrimmage, the linemen make calls, and we call that 10 or 11 concept. But let's go right here to the first one, 10 or 11. Guys, 10 and 11 is for a 50 defense. We want to go to the 50 side of the defense. Let's block 11 right here, okay? First play, 11. You mesh with that fullback, okay? Your rule is this. On 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, you are to read the first down lineman from a 4-eye technique on out and pitch off the next outside defender, never pitching off an inside backer unless we've instructed you to do so by game plan. Here's 11. Guard climbs up on the backer, tackle releases around the tackle. He gets the backer in case the backer's running. There's your 4-eye, no 4-eye, there he is, he's a 4. There's your read man. Pitch off the next outside defender, that's the end. We push, crack, we arc, 6 points. That's 10 and 11. Now let's take a look at it here on film. Okay, guys, this first play is going to be 10. The defensive left tackle is going to work out at the top of the screen, and the fullback gets the ball. This next play is 11. The defensive tackle works out. Then he closes late, but the fullback's already got the football. Here's 10 men. The tackle closes, and the defensive end took the pitch, and the quarterback takes the ball. Good, quarterback. This next play is 11, and the quarterback has got it again. Nice game, good execution. Make him miss him. We can't coach that. Here's 10. Watch the tackle close, and the quarterback get downhill and attack the inside shoulder of the end and pitch it. He makes one miss, two miss, three guys miss him. That's great running. Last play here is 10, and watch the great footwork and execution of the quarterback. Okay, then the next play I want to teach you is 12. It's for a 60 defense, okay? Forget the concept right now. We're going to run it to the field, even though they've got an extra half player. Here's what it looks like. We'll come off inside right up here on the backer. We'll combination block that, which we call gate. You're going to read, your rule tells you to read a 4-eye. There's no 4-eye. There's no 4. There he is. He's the 5 technique. You pitch off the next outside defender. Okay, we arc that strong safety, which is an even call from the lineman inside. Again, we have the decision to push and block the corner and turn the free safety loose, or crack the free safety and turn the corner loose. Let's look at 12 right here on film. Okay, guys, this is 12, and the quarterback makes a great read here on the up stunt, where the defensive tackle comes down, but he crosses the line of scrimmage, creating a path to the fullback, and a great individual effort on this run by the fullback. Watch this defensive 5 technique close down and then come up. Good read. Your next play, now the fullback's going to get it again on 13. Good job of carrying out your fake. Just keep your hands together, quarterback, when you're carrying out the fake. The next one coming up is 13. The 5 technique closes, and the pitch man, he falls inside on the fullback too, and the quarterback ends up with the ball. And we're running 13 here to our unbalanced formation, which is called lawn switch. The 5 closed, and the pitch man forgot to take the quarterback. Okay, then we're unbalanced again. If the halfback to the right is on the line of scrimmage, we call that run. Or on the line is run. Here the 5 took the fullback, and the pitch man slow played the quarterback, and we circled the defense for a gain of about 8. Here's line, unbalanced left, 13. The left tackle should have blocked inside. Instead he blocked outside, but we get by with it, get it on the corner, and get the ball pitched again. That's 12 and 13. Okay, and then next play, 14 and 15. We talked about it a while ago. It's an 8-man front play. It's really all we ran this spring against our defense. All right, guys, we got it either way here. You know that's an 8-man front by the alignment. You know that everybody's got a gap. This is an eagle 50 or eagle shade look, all right? We could run 14 over here and combo this tackling backer with these 2 and seal the 5. In this scheme we call overload. Or we could veer down here like this. Let's do that right now and run 15. These 2 guys build a crease for the fullback right here. They build the wall for the fullback to run in. Quarterback, you apply your rule, no 4-eye, no 4, he's a 5. Read him, pitch off him. Now if he closes and he scrapes, on 14 and 15, the onside halfback comes and 5 blocks or chops that linebacker. So you read, okay, you read here, you pitch here, now into the boundary. This receiver blocks the first guy that comes. If the corner comes, he blocks him. If he backs up for the pass and the free safety's coming, which happens a lot, he cracks him. That's 14-15. Let's look at it here on film. Now, 14-15 was the veer that we ran the most this spring, as I mentioned here earlier at Rice. We alerted to the shade side most of the time. Fullback's going to get the football right here running off the right side, and the crease kind of closes outside, so he bends it back inside, makes a real nice run. As I mentioned, we alerted this to the shaded nose guard side. Here's 14 again to the fullback. Nice job of the quarterback reading the up stunt. 15 again to the fullback. Good blocks here by the left tackle and left guard. And the tight end who is split out does a good job on the free safety. And great individual effort and desire and speed by the fullback. We've got 15 alerted to the shaded side of the defense. The tight end into the boundary gets tangled up with the pitch man, but the play turns out fine. 14 here, and the quarterback's going to get the ball. Good job of the fullback turning north and south on contact. Great 5 block by the right halfback. We get a good crack by the free safety, and the quarterback's got a 60-yard touchdown. Quarterbacks, let's put that ball away. 15 here, we get the pitch. The 5 closes. The backer comes hard at the quarterback on what we call a south stunt. QB does a great job of dealing the ball, and it's a first down for Rice. Here's 15 coming again with almost the identical stunt. What we call a cut by the 5 technique on the fullback and a south stunt by the bandit or the outside backer. All right, men, you know we like 10 and 11 to a 50, 12 and 13 to a 60, and 14, 15 to any 8-man fronts. Now, what if we're playing somebody and we're not sure what they're going to be? Let's say we open with Tulane, we don't know what their front is. We would enter the game or call 10 and 11 concept. 10 or 11 concept. 10 to the right, obviously 11 to the left, but we're going to concept block it. What does that mean? For you, it's the same. I'm going to read a 4-eye technique on out, pitch off the next outside defender. So it's easy on you. We've got smart offensive linemen and running backs here at Rice. They're going to make the calls at the line of scrimmage. We have a box right here, and I'm going to teach you exactly what we're telling our offensive linemen. In this defensive line box right here, our guard makes a call whether or not there's a defensive lineman lined up in that defensive line box. If there's no defensive lineman there, he'll call odd, okay? Then he looks to this, what we call this dotted line, a linebacker box, okay? This is the linebacker box up here. The defensive line box is defined of a shade technique to the B-gap. A linebacker box is defined from the shade technique all the way to a 5 technique. So they look inside these boxes and make a call as to how we're going to block 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by just saying 10 concept or 11 concept in the huddle. Now, we would want the play right here against the 50 look without a defensive lineman in the box and one play side backer. They would make what's called an odd call at the line of scrimmage, which would give us this scheme right here. Zone, read, pitch, arc. That would be an odd call for that type look based on what's in the defensive line and the linebacker box, okay? Let's change the defense. 60 look, okay? There's a down lineman, but there's no play side backer, okay? There's no play side backer in the linebacker box. That constitutes an even call. We'll come off and block this inside, what we call a gate or combo. You would read, pitch, and again, we're out here blocking the strong safety, okay? Even call against a 60 look. You say, well, Coach, that's just 12 and 13. That's right. Coach, that's just 10 and 11. That's right. But we didn't know what they were going to play at the line of scrimmage, and to keep us as a quarterback from going 10 check 12, 12 check 14, 15 check 11, and all those mixtures that could come up, we just concepted the line of scrimmage. Last scenario is overload. There's a down lineman and a play side backer in the box. There's the linebacker box. There's the defensive line box right there. That constitutes an overload call. Well, Coach, that's just 14. That's right, and that's what we had all spring this spring at Rice. But we didn't have to call it. We weren't sure what they're going to play at the line of scrimmage. We'll use this a lot this fall. All right, guys, the plays we just talked about were our inside veer triple option plays, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have an outside veer 2. It's called 16 and 17. We run it to a tight end. We run it away from a tight end. I've got it drawn up here. Without a tight end, your rule is this on 16 and 17. I read the end man on the line of scrimmage. I'm going to read that defensive end, pitch off the first secondary player, the first support player from the secondary. Here it is right here. Again, we like this play alerted to the B-gap player. This is the shade side of the defense. There's the B-gap player. That 4-eye is there because he's got the fullback in that gap. Even if he's lined up there, he's got the fullback. Or there, he's trying to protect that B-gap area and smash that fullback. So on 16-17, we come off and double team that guy with these two guys and try to knock him back into that linebacker right there. He comes around and 5 blocks the linebacker. You read who? You read the defensive end. If he closes, you pull it. If he sits there and those shoulders stay square, we focus on the shoulders, look into the eyeballs, watch the defensive end. If his shoulders come down, we pull it unless he comes down and crosses the line of scrimmage on an up stunt, then we give it. You would read him and pitch off the first secondary support. That would be the corner. That's 16 and 17, to or away from a tight end. Let's look at the old film. First play is 16 to the right. We're reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. upfield, creates a running seam for the fullback, so we hand it off. "17, the end just sits there, so we hand it off again to the fullback. 16 again, the end closes, so we pull it, quarterback's downfield running. Protect that ball, quarterbacks. We've got 17 again, he closes, quarterback's off and running again. Good tough running. Here we come again with the outside veer on 16. He closes. Quarterback's downfield. He pitches the ball late off the corner. Quarterbacks, we encourage that. We don't mind you pitching that ball downfield anywhere. Keep the option alive all the time. Pitchback's got to stay right there with you. 16 again, a close, a downfield pitch, and we get a touchdown. That's the outside veer, 16 and 17. All right, men, no more triple options. Double option here, 18 and 19. You mesh with the fullback. Don't look at the fullback. Never look at the fullback unless it's 32 or 33. Then we ensure the handoff and look at him. But this is 18 and 19. We mesh with the fullback with our eyes on the defensive end the whole way. We're going to mesh, take it to the end, and pitch it out into the halfback and let the halfback have the ball out in the perimeter. Here's how it's blocked right here. If we were blocking 18, we'd arc right here on the strong safety, push or push and crack. We're going to block this B-gap player now. We're going to come here and block him with the fullback and the guard, and the tackle's going around, picking off the backer. You mesh, take it to the end. Backside back comes in short motion. He receives the pitch. We're outside in the perimeter. Let's take a look at it on tape. 18 goes to the right. I think he comes hard on a hot stunt right here, so the hands and eyes have got to move quick and get the ball in the back's hands. 18 again, nice job here by the quarterback, and a super arc block by our right halfback. That's the way to cut them down. Halfback make one miss, make two miss. We can't coach that. And we got a couple of 19s coming up. Not a great block, men, but we had real good pitch relationship, and the backs were able to circle the secondary and get a sizable gain. "19 again, great running by the halfback downhill. We get a big gain on this one. Okay, men, short yardage situation or on the goal line, we put three backs in the backfield, have two tight ends in there. This play is called 18 and 19 block. Block is a term that tells the tight end you block the defensive end. So you're not going to pitch off the defensive end like you did on 18 and 19. On 18 and 19 block, you'll mesh, bring it all the way to the cornerback outside and pitch it off him. If the cornerback will be easy to get to. If the defensive end played outside and our tight end had to stretch him and run him outside, you stay tight to the line of scrimmage and duck up underneath him. Here's how it's blocked against a 6'5" goal line defense. We would slip, reach hard and slip this right here, put the fullback through. He looks at the backer also, but he checks in case that backer comes first. If that occurred, he'd block him. Backer to backer. Tackle reaches the tackle, end reaches the end. This back right here, the onside back, comes hard at this angle, ready to take the backer in the C gap or the D gap. If the end widened, the backer would probably hang inside, we'd take him in the C gap. If the end pinched and scraped and the backer stunted outside, he'd pick him up there. You mesh, take it all the way to the corner, you option the corner. He takes pitch, you score. He takes you, deal it off, and the halfback scores. Here it is on film. We're down here on the goal line. We're going to the right. Don't get too deep, quarterback. Corner took the pitch. We score. Good blocking inside. Here we've got another shot of 18 block. Tight end blocks that in. Corner's upfield. Now the quarterback's inside again for another touchdown and put that ball away. Here we go on 19 block. We're running it to the left. Quarterback tight to the line. He stays up inside, scores himself. And we got another shot of it. 18 block with a corner fire. We pitch the ball quickly and the halfback scores. 18 and 19 block. Okay. Okay, men, got two predetermined plays here, a real good A-gap play and a real good B-gap play that I want to share with you, and then we're done. Okay, this is 20. 20 is a counter dive where you always open to the side of the hole. 0 is to the right. That's 2 hole, 4 hole, 6 hole. 1 is the left foot of the center. 0 is the right foot of the center. Left guard 3 hole, 5 hole, 7 hole. You open on 20 to the hole or call side. Your action would be like this. You open, quick fake the fullback, snap your head around, and give the ball to this halfback right here. It's blocked like this. And again, quarterbacks, we want you to alert this play to the 3 technique side away from the shaded nose. We overreach the 3. We put the fullback right underneath the 3. If he pinches, he blocks him. If he widens, they hook up together. He blocks the backer. We block back on the center. We block the center back on the nose guard. Charlie, they'll guard around for the play side backer. The halfback takes a step and he hits it. Quarterback, you open this way. Give him the football. That's 20, and here it is on tape from this spring. Okay, men, 20 and 21. The 3 techniques over here on the right, so we should be running 20. We did, and the halfback had to move over, so you should open to the right, counter out, and again, the coaching point here is snap your head around. We almost missed the back with the football right there. Snap that head around, be ready to deliver it. 20 again, great inside running. And 21. Okay, men, the predetermined play that goes to the B-gap so well. Now, we can run it to the A-gap, but the one we like to alert so many times the B-gap is 24 and 25. We ran it a lot this spring. It's a hard-nosed, tough play that gets the ball out of your hands. It's a misdirection off 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You and the fullback, let's say this is 25, will start running like it's 10, 12, or 14. You make a good fake with him. These backs step to the right like everything starts like 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. This guy's going to carry the football. We alert it just 90% of the time to the shaded side of the defense, which that's this side right here. Center has a great shot at the backside backer. We blocked this play earlier. This halfback steps. He ices the backer. You make a good short fake with the fullback where you touch him with the football on his rib cage, and you step back, give this halfback the ball, and he runs down in the B gap. Let's look at it right now. 24 and 25, that's the counter lead. Watch the quarterback fake to the fullback, then relocate the halfback. Look the ball into the halfback's belly. Good running, halfback. This play right here, as the quarterback takes a snap, would end up being 25. It's a counter lead. Men, I hope you've enjoyed the tape. I know it was long and it's detailed, but I think if you can look at this 4 or 5 times, this summer's going to help you so much when you come back to camp. I want to encourage you to come in the greatest shape of your life, running-wise, have your arm ready and in shape. Start your throwing about the 1st of June and just warm your arm up for 2 or 3 weeks. 5 yards, 10, 15 to about 30, and don't worry about throwing routes to about the 3rd week of June. And make sure, again, that you always warm that arm up properly, throwing about 4 to 5 times a week, and you should be ready to have that arm in great shape for camp. I'll see you in August. We're going to close the tape right here with some quarterback drills that we shot this spring, and I'll narrate over those. See you in 2 days. Quarterbacks, we start today every day 5 yards apart with our feet parallel, just loosening up the arm and the upper body. The point emphasis in this little drill is cocking the left shoulder. We love for the quarterback to cock that left shoulder in the torso before he comes around with the ball in his right hand, releasing it, much like a baseball player cocking before he hits a home run, or a golfer winding up and shifting his weight even in his upper body. You know, to make a parallel here, if somebody insulted your girlfriend, you're going to throw the knockout punch. You'd want to wind up before you release the punch, much like we do here throwing just a short 5-yard pass. Okay, moving on to the next drill, men. We're trying to get our fundamentals here. We take a short 3-step drop, and we want that left foot down, starting with number 1, a base, a shoulder width base, with number 2, the weight, 80-20, 80 back foot, 20 front. 3, a short 4-inch step at the target. Then we want the elbow parallel as he throws the football. We want the weight shift to occur. The 7th thing we want is his arm to follow through across and down his body And the last thing is to land on balance. Now we're going to move into throwing the football on the run. Quarterbacks, one big point of emphasis here. Get the opposite shoulder out of the way before you release the football. If we're going to the right, the opposite shoulder is obviously the left shoulder. Get it out of the way, and that squares the hips up. And when the hips are squared to the target, accuracy that you can possibly get while throwing on the run. Okay, as funny as it looks, we got the leg up. What we're doing here, men, is having the quarterback basically half the time we close our eyes. I want him to feel the sensation of the lower body working with the upper body at the same time. Really overemphasizing the weight shift here with all the weight on the back foot, stepping and throwing simultaneously with this improves accuracy and power. Okay, men, here the quarterback up moving the football, but there's one thing that I really am looking at, and that's the ball. Is the ball being carried high? We don't want the quarterback dropping the ball down on his waist. We want it carried right under his chin, two hands on the ball. And again, here as we change drills and do a little wave drill, agility drill, the point of emphasis again is the ball. Is he carrying the football high? We absolutely want no wasted... delivery and same thing. Short agilities, but the ball carried high. All right, men, here we're just working into our what we call a pressure drill. When the quarterbacks hadn't been hit in a while, I want to make sure that they're looking downfield, focusing on their target as I hit them with a pad. Next drill, Ben, is just our drops. 3-step drop to the right. I think the next one here is a 3-step drop to the left where we open those hips on that 3rd step and deliver. Then we move on back with a 5-step, and again, that's hard. 3 steps, breaking on 4, and landing on 5. Here it is right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set, ready to deliver. Get that base. Get that left foot down. That's the most critical thing in throwing the footballs, that you get a base. And now the 7-step drop. This is for the deeper routes. Takes us a little bit more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break 7. Set our feet, open the hips to the left, and throw. All right, men, a drill that we've got to do that's a must for our passing game. It doesn't get anyone hurt. There's no offensive line. There's what we call a pass scale. This involves the defensive backs, linebackers, our wide receivers, and running backs, tight ends. Quarterback, you take your drop, read your free safety, your strong safety, your middle linebacker, whoever it is that we designate on that play, and then throw the completion. Okay, now, men, moving to the running game. This is called a set drill, S-E-T, set drill, where all we're doing is practicing the 1st step, which you see right here, then the 2nd step, then the 3rd step of those plays, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On that 1st step, we want that football to go back as fast as it can, push back by the opposite forearm. If you're going to the left, push it back with the right forearm. If you're going to the right, push it back with the left forearm. Take your foot back quickly as you can. Your shoulder pad should be over your knee. Your head should be right over your toe. Your chin on your shoulder pad focused and locked into that defensive tackle area, focusing on the read. We take the 1st step, which is a quick step, the 2nd step, which is a slower step, where you decide actually what you're going to do with the football on that 2nd step. Okay? You decide on the ride. The 2nd step's a slower step. The relationship should be toe to heel. These quarterbacks are a little bit too long with their 2nd step. Pitch drill. We do this about half speed, then we pick it up later on, but we catch it and pitch it, men, in a basketball form. We don't pitch thumbs down. It's basketball. Why? It's easier on the halfback to catch it because the ends of the ball don't go around as fast. Step, look, and pitch. That's how we coach the pitch. You step, look, and pitch all at once. Here's another drill we do with 3 quarterbacks in a triangle. We've cut out the 3rd quarterback because that's me, and we're step, looking, and pitching here as quickly as we can. We'll do it to the right, then we'll turn and reverse it and do it to the left. Again, you don't look, step, and pitch, or pitch, step, and look. You step, look, and pitch all at once on the pitch. Last little drill, man, we're going to close the tape. We call this a half line. We have half the offense and defensive players involved, and you get all the looks. Reading the 5 technique or the 4 technique, pitching off the next outside defender over and over and over. We do this drill for the quarterback. We like it because we don't get any backside people hurt, scooping, or getting cut off. And occasionally we'll throw a play-action pass in here when the secondary starts cheating and they play the corner on the pitch and they play the free safety on the pitch. This play is called 115 crack flag. Oop. Defensive backs are cheating again.